Today we're taking a closer look at Bruyères, the fifth prelude of the second book of Preludes by Claude Debussy. This is translated often as Heather, and I found the work of Paul Roberts, if you have a chance to check out his book Images or Images, it's just such a remarkable resource for just playing and enjoying the works of Debussy. And he talked about how Bruyères can mean heath or heather, which, as the place where heather grows, amounts to much the same thing. So it talks about Debussy's imagination and how we accept that this is en plein air, as in outside. This music really feels out of doors. And he was reminded by some lines by Emily Dickinson from Time and Eternity that I wanted to share with you. He said, that is, she says, "I never saw a moor, I never saw the sea. Yet know I how the heather looks, and what a wave must be." And so do we, perhaps, he says, when we listen to Bruyères. Another story he shares is about the pianist Marguerite Long, and I first heard this by reading her book, but I like that Paul Roberts has given us the quote here. Marguerite Long studied directly with Debussy on these works, and she talked about what Debussy did during one of her lessons. And she said, and I quote, "With his keen sense of smell, Debussy could feel the sea even from the midst of woods. He united its odor with that of the Celtic bushes, which are so prolific under the great pines. All of a sudden he cried, 'That's it, the heather, and not those little flowers that look like porcelain. I detest them.'" I remember the "je déteste." And so, but what Mr. Roberts also pointed out about this is that it seems appropriate that Debussy would be the kind of composer of the great composers, or the composers that we know of the first tier of all artists, should have had a keen sense of smell. And he said that his revealing comparison between the real and the artificial, between wild heather and flowers that do not look like flowers, helps us to focus on the essential simplicity of this prelude, its pastoral, outdoor quality. So let's turn to the music. Now, what do you know? This piece kind of has a sister piece, and that is The Girl with the Flaxen Hair from the Book 1 Preludes. Listen to how that piece opens. I think we would associate this as being by the same composer. Now, what happens between these two pieces that solidifies the connection, I think, is how they are handled at the end. In each case, Debussy puts the main theme up an octave and orchestrates it with some harmonic support underneath. So in The Girl with the Flaxen Hair, that's like this. Whereas in Bruyères, it is like this. Etc. But it's a very, very similar approach compositionally. Anyhow, these pieces both really give that impression of that en plein air, out of doors sort of feeling.